Hello and welcome back to this edition of Daily Actives brought to you by Bootleg Macro. I am Dustin. This is the show where we look at the most active stocks in Yahoo Finance. Now, the stock I'm going to look at today is going to be Nvidia. See, Nvidia was very interesting. You can see it was down nearly 3% today. I'm very curious about what this is going to look like as I start to kind of look at my own tool here. The reason why is because Nvidia has been consistently one of the top themes that have been across all markets, probably going on 2 years now, 3 years, I'd say, ever since ChatGPT came out. So the beginning of 2024, actually 2023, I think it was the end of 2022 is when ChatGPT came out. If we look at Nvidia here, this is a 9-month chart. You can see that the green essentially represents the bullishness, the red represents the bearishness. That is just essentially a proprietary signal that I built myself in terms of thinking about the underlying sentiment. But the most important things to me are going to be if we look here, what we're going to notice at the top of the range, at least on the top of NVIDIA at the end of today, is going a little bit higher. Actually, it's not going as high as it has been, but it is going a little bit higher. And what I'd like to see personally is that I've essentially seen that NVIDIA has been bullish this entire time. I don't know exactly what day. It looks like the 7th. It broke out of this bearish move that essentially was in from January. I mean, there's only 3 days here where it wasn't bearish since January 20th, which is kind of nuts. But we can see that something has dramatically changed since essentially after Cinco de Mayo. The beginning of May was very, very good to NVIDIA. We can see here we've got the price. It's at $135 as it closed today. We do not see that it's positive yet on the 6-month rolling return, nor on the 1 month or on the 1 year rolling return. But I do like to see that we would have it flip on the 3 month rolling return. You can even see in my world, that's considered to be like a very positive signal. Is when you flip from a negative rolling return on the 3 month, which this was a very long period of time, probably back to January, like we're looking at in the chart. Yeah, January 27th is when it flipped on the 3 month rolling return being negative, and it's been negative ever since. And you can see that it flipped positive on the 19th. And for me, that was a fantastic signal. Now, the thing that I can say that I really like about where, if we look at NVIDIA, it is that first off, we have very strong volume. I mean, we're having through over 300 million shares traded the past 3 days in a row. It's continued to be bullish. If we look at the trade level continues to rise. And if I'm going to be very, very honest about what I love about this, I like that I'm getting a higher low. I do not necessarily need a higher high in the top of the range. I do think that's a valuable piece. I do think when you start to get higher highs, especially at the beginning of a move, that's a very good signal or indicative of a potential breakout higher. I mean, we were getting that higher high here on Nvidia before we even got the 3 month rolling return to break out, right? It was still a negative 3 month rolling return, but we had flipped to bullish from bearish, which I imagine we had been bearish here in the sentiment for a very long time, as well as now once that bullishness flipped. As we started to get higher highs, these were higher highs that we had not seen in a while. What day was this? On the 13th. So if we look at the 13th, where are we here? Or somewhere around here. Yeah, so the 13th there. So what I like about that breakout, specifically the fact that that is the highest high we've seen in a while, is that if we think about it, we're really comparing back to like March. So for me, especially if you see a counter trend move, which is like quite substantial, in my opinion, these are completely my opinions. This is not financial advice, but if you think about the way that a move should happen, is you're going to want to see some transition, which is going to have to break over like a counter trend move. That counter trend move, in my opinion, needs to be at least 8 weeks. If you get 8 weeks, now you start to get to a place where people can completely forget, people have turned over, the shares have turned over. You have a true opportunity for you to start really seeing a difference in the trend. And that was clear here in NVIDIA because it broke out bullish as soon as we got that kind of a move. And it looks like ever since it hasn't looked back. Now, we go ahead, I'm going to go see in the portfolio here what I have. I think I have NVIDIA in the portfolio. The reason why I want to look is because I want to look at where it is relative to the range. If you go to this website and you can sign up, it's automatically free right now. But let's see. Oh, I don't have NVIDIA in there. Let me add it. It does not say what I was looking at, but I can see it was right there. It should be cached. It should be pretty quick. Yeah, there it is. Since it's locally cached, I should be able to get it really quickly. But now I should be able to add it. We should see at the bottom where it says NVIDIA has now been added to the portfolio. I'm just going to give it a second so all the calculations and stuff in the background I can run, and I'm going to go to my portfolio. I'm expecting that NVIDIA should be here now with the other stocks that I have in there. Yeah, it is at the very bottom. So the thing that I like about what NVIDIA is doing, so two things. One, where it is relative to its trade level, it's only 5.49% away from its trade level, as well as it is, I mean, the higher high has been nice. It could go all the way up, it could go up 10% all the way up to the 150. To be fair, I'd probably like it to be slightly closer to the trade level and bullish. So probably I'd honestly be looking at LPG, but I actually sold that today because I am done fucking with natural gas. But Nvidia is definitely one of those things that I think would be if it falls back closer to 128, or you get the trade level to come up to near to like 133 and it's still around 130, 135, excuse me, that would be a great spot that you're getting a green like background with black lettering. That means this is in the standard deviation range. It's in the middle of its absolute range right now. So I would say I'm gonna buy Nvidia. That's at least in my opinion. I mean, let's see what the AI says at the bottom here. It says Nvidia is a standout, hovering, yeah, right above its trade level with continued confirmate with confirmed higher low. Volume remains elevated, but the stock feels late unless it pulls back into a better entry zone. It's leaning bullish, but caution is warranted. See, you know what's funny? It kind of essentially articulated exactly what I was saying in terms of my commentary. But tell me what you think. If you're interested in this, you can always come to what is it? TradeRangeAuthentication.web.app. You can sign up for free. All you do, like, I'll just log out real quick. You show up, it's just going to be this. You click sign in, and then you're in. That's how it works. Tell me what you think. I'm very interested in what you want to do with this. If you find this interesting, especially if you go to the sectors and stuff. I think in the sectors, I've already pre-programmed them to be the major sectors that you can see: XLB, XLC, XLF. So this is going to essentially tell you what you're seeing across the entire market. But ooh, what a flip! Everything flipped completely bearish today. Oh my goodness. Yeah, like wow, what happened? I mean, what a move. What an absolute stunning move. Okay. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Talk soon.